It takes a lot of courage to step up as a candidate, and so I'm so proud and so excited that Anita's decided to do that. I want to talk about a couple of things here. We heard from Senator Wagner about some of the really bad things that happened this last session, and I just want to add a little bit to that. From the county perspective, as a county council member, some of the things we were watching. First of all, you know, like Senator Wagner said, there were a lot of missed opportunities for tax reform, emergency powers reform, police reform, or fixes to police reform. Instead, what did Democrats spend their time doing? A high-capacity magazine ban, a huge transportation package, billions of dollars, and no tax relief. In fact, they did more taxes. So I think they wasted their time. They did very bad bills this last session. And some of the things that were missed, police reform was mentioned. I talked regularly with Sheriff Fortney at the county about our needs for our local sheriff deputies and our city police officers. And this police pursuits issue is a huge one. For those of you who aren't familiar with it, you know, I've heard stories talking with our on-the-ground deputies about how they'll be sitting in their car and they'll hear over the radio that there's been a burglary in a store, in a retail store or wherever. They'll see someone running out that matches the description, and they're not allowed to pursue that person because they didn't actually witness it happen with their own eyes. It's insane, and it's leading to huge increases in crime, 20% in some areas in our community, and the Democrats failed to fix it. A couple other bad things that happened. This wasn't actually passed, thankfully, but something that we're watching closely at the local level that Democrats are trying to do is ban single-family zoning statewide. How many of you want to live in an apartment? Yeah, I don't either. I got 3 kids. I can tell you we're not going to cram like sardines into an apartment. But these bills to ban single-family zoning in cities of 10,000 people or more are bad bills, and they're bills that are going to get passed if the Democrats continue to increase in number. And so it's critical when we're voting in our legislative elections that we elect Republicans, that we elect people like Anita who are going to go down and fight for our Second Amendment rights, fight for our tax dollars to be given back to us, and to fix our budget issues, and to fight for our police and fight for public safety in our communities. One of the things that really impresses me about Anita, when I first met her, I thought, I've never seen anybody in the Snohomish County Republican Party, or I'll take a step back, I don't know that I've ever seen anybody in Snohomish County as a citizen who fights so hard for conservative values as Anita does. She steps up, she leads events, she's always there fighting for what's right. And that means a lot to me, because it's easy, for elected officials to go out and do things, but for someone who's a citizen and an activist to step up and lead all sorts of rallies. She's at every event. When I was running for election, Anita was always there. Whenever I go to other candidates' events, she's always there. She's rallying people behind our candidates. And that's so encouraging to have people like that. Those are the types of people that we want to see in the office. Because I tell you what, it's not easy to run campaigns, and it's probably even less easy to govern once you're in office. And so someone like Anita, who's proven that she works hard, she works very hard, and she's going to do that on the campaign trail. She's going to be knocking on thousands of doors, and then when she gets elected, she's going to be working that hard on you and I's behalf when she's in office to do good things down in Olympia. A couple of things that we can do to help Anita out. The first one was mentioned by Senator Wagner, and perhaps the most important one is fundraising. The unfortunate reality of our politics nowadays is it takes a lot of money to get elected. We can each help by chipping in on that. If you can't donate the maximum $2,000, maybe you can donate $500, or maybe you can donate $100, or even $50 or $20. Every single little bit counts, and so I'd highly encourage you, if you could, to get out your checkbook and write a check out tonight to Anita's campaign, because every little bit helps to get her closer to the finish line. The second thing is volunteering. I noticed on each of the tables, I was taking a look at my table over there, there's a handy little volunteer sheet, and it'll show lots of ways that you can help Anita's campaign. Doorbelling, sign waving, making phone calls for get out the vote when ballots are coming out. These are things that candidates need. Anita's going to be out working hard, but she can't do it on her own. She needs our support, and we need to be behind her, getting her across the finish line. And then last, I think one of the easiest things that all of us can do is just spread the word. If you go out and talk to folks in the community, it's kind of sad, but lots of people just don't pay attention to politics, right? They don't know who's running. They don't know what's going on in Olympia. And so talking to your friends, to your family members, to your coworkers about what's going on in our state, about a great candidate like Anita that we have in the 38th District, sharing her stuff on social media, putting a yard sign in your yard can go a long ways to helping Anita get elected. So I'll just close by saying, Anita, I want to thank you so much for running for office, and I want to thank you all for being here to show your support for such a great candidate. Thank you.